Welcome everyone. Here in opens the virtual court of Caer, Baroness Anya Rua, Inyan Neal, and Baron Adon Aylwin, Baroness and Baron of Caer. While we welcome you to this court, I'd like to kind of point out that if you haven't had this experience yet, and I know it's been quite a while for any of us to be at something in person, just the act of getting the canvas together from its storage, bless you, of setting things up in the heat, and then the threatening rain, and then the no rain, and the sun,
and the pollen,
and the rest of it. But then the smell of the canvas, and the feel of the breeze going through, and the hearing the flapping of the cloth, and all that really brought back memories of Penzic's past, memories of Ruby's past, and memories of other wonderful events that contain all of these sights and all of these sounds and smells and the things that make the SCA experience very real. So if you haven't had a chance to do this yet, I urge everyone, set your pavilion up in your backyard if you have it. Spend an evening in garb with your roommates, your spouses, your boyfriends, girlfriends, close friends, someone on a phone, and just enjoy being in garb and communicating with someone else, even if they are remote from you. Do something to bring that SCA experience back into your life and enjoy it as best you can. It's very worthwhile, and it really helps to keep the things alive in your heart until we can get back in person again.
We want to welcome you to virtual Ruby Joust. This is not by any stretch of the imagination the way we had envisioned it. However, after missing Ruby last year, His Excellency and myself, as well as a number of other people, were not willing to let another Ruby Joust slip away. It's become near and dear to the hearts of everyone in Caer and a lot of Atlantia. Look forward to this event every year. So it may not be as we remember it, but it's Ruby nonetheless. With that, we wanted to start off by thanking a few of the people who made this possible. There's people in our barony who were willing to take time, phone calls, stare at a computer screen, even more than they already do, to make sure we were able to make this happen. First, I'd like to thank Lady Olivia. Lady Olivia, you have done more fielding of phone calls and text messages and coordinating of classes and Zoom rooms than I could have imagined. Thank you so much for the time and effort you've put into making this happen. I'd also like to...
Actually, I want to interrupt real quick. For those that don't know, Lady Olivia is the autocrat for Ruby Joust this year, and given her past history of autocrating, very wonderful events that all have had tornadoes and torrential downpours and snowstorms and other special weather helping out. This is possibly her first event that is not horribly impacted by weather, or if it is horribly impacted by weather, it's only this person over here or that person over there, and not the event itself. So consider yourselves lucky that you don't have to mix such a wonderful event with the wonderful weather that Lady Olivia typically brings with her. We thank you very much for that lack of weather.
That being said, we'd also like to thank Lord Serafino. Lord Serafino has helped with the online presence and making sure that the website was where it needed to be, and we had the links and everything that needed to be up and ready to go for the event. He was able to help with the website and make sure that everybody knew where they were going when they needed to be there. So thank you for that. I'd also like to thank Lord Kieran as well as Lady Mariori. Without the two of them, the Bardic last night would not have been possible. They took time out of their schedules to assist and help and make sure it happened just the way it was supposed to. I never would have been able to do it on my own, so thank you so much to both of you for giving us the opportunity to have a Bardic at Ruby. We've also been the recipients of many generous gifts towards our barony since we stepped up. I'd like to take a second just to thank some people for the time and effort they put into it. First off, Mistress Morwenna made some absolutely beautiful medallion cords that we're going to be using for many courts to come to distribute and hand out our awards to our members of our barony, so thank you so much. I'd also like to thank Mistress Kevin, who gave us a beautiful basket full of things that she'd made, things that she had found, and things that she thought everybody would love. They're so much fun. We'd also very much like to thank Baroness Aza as well as Baron Alon of Sacred Stone, as well as their populace. They very generously sent us a gift basket full of largesse for our upcoming courts, full of things that were made and crafted by members of their populace. Absolutely beautiful works. Thank you so much for thinking of us. My living room still smells like lavender, and I can't even begin to thank you guys how much we appreciate the thoughtfulness and the generosity of your barony.
Although it's only been a short time since we stepped up as baronage, there's been a lot of people doing a lot of things over a much longer period of time, and like all the others that have been participating in this barony, even in our current kind of disconnected state, we've been noticing all the help and all the differences that people make in the lives of the members of our populace. In Caer, we have a place for those willing to volunteer their time and their talents to enrich the barony. The Order of the Pharaohs is awarded to those that go above and beyond, that through their service, through their skills, through their contributions, they enrich the lives of the baronage, of the barony, of the members of this barony, and of the kingdom, and they make our barony look great. We have many such individuals in Caer, but today we would like to add a few more members to the Order of the Pharaohs. Lord Serafino, for all the service that you've done in maintaining our current online website, in building and putting together the new site that will make us look even better to those visiting and looking for our group, for all the work that you've done in the online presence, in the connectivity and running the classes today, in our social media accounts and the rest of that. For all that work, we thank you very much, and today we would like to induct you into the Caer Order of the Pharaohs. Heraldry occupies an interesting space within the SCA. It gives people personal labels for what to call themselves and what to show themselves. It also enriches our courts in being the voice of those that announce what's going on, the awards being given, the people being recognized, the acts going on.
They let the people in the cheap seats hear what's going on.
For not only her book heraldry in those aspects, but for all her participation in the announcements in the voice heraldry work that she's done, we would like to recognize Lady Mear Matheson in the Caer Order of the Pharaohs for all the ways that she has contributed and helped this barony and made us look great. We thank you very much for all of your work, and we hope that you will continue to contribute such in the ways that you have and make us look great. We greatly appreciate all that. Finally, especially in this disconnected state, it becomes more difficult for us to stay informed about what's going on. In all of our business meetings and all of our online participations, there has been this cheerful voice that said, "I heard that and I'm putting it in the newsletter." "Hey, you promised me something to put in the newsletter. Hey, here I go." As chronicler, Kenrick the Hale has been a wonderful asset and a very cheerful one to nudge and poke and cajole and inspire people to contribute to our newsletter and to the events going on in the barony. And so for that, for all his wonderful work and all his joy in fulfilling his job, we would like to recognize Kenrick the Hale with the Order of the Pharaohs.
Yay!
Once again, we appreciate all the work that you've done, and we sincerely hope that you'll continue to continue your contributions in the future, because you make a difference and we appreciate that. Please welcome all these individuals as the newest inductees in the Caer Order of the Pharaohs. Vivat!
Vivat! Finally, there's one person who I personally would like to express my thanks to. As you may have seen, and you may have experienced, that the investitures for the baronage coming up in the last year or so have been a little unorthodox. Not the way it was expected, not the way it has ever been. That has its own set of perils. Throughout all of this, it included communication and phone calls and text messages, emails, any other type of communication you can think of. And Lady Olivia Isabel has done everything right. Even in the most unexpected circumstances, the most unpredictable situations, she has been there to smooth the way. She has been there to be the voice of reason. She has been there to make some of the most tenuous situations not only doable, but also a pleasure. She has been a joy to work with. She will continue to be a joy to work with. She has done everything she could to make this transition as easy as possible. I can't even begin to say thank you enough for all the time and all the phone calls and all the text messages she's taken to try and make things run according to plan. And even when that plan changes, the first thing out of her mouth is, "We've got this." So, Olivia, thank you so much for making everything work. Because that's what you do. You just make things work.
But not only does she make things work, she does it with a smile and a cheerfulness that just takes out any kind of a sting and any kind of a conflict and makes everything just go smoothly.
Which speaks to her courtesy. Which is why at this point in time I would very much be honored if you would accept my Baroness's award of courtesy for everything you've done, for all the help you've been to myself and to everybody else in this transition. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, everyone, for attending Bardic Friday night and for attending classes today, and also attending our court today at Virtual Ruby Joust. We appreciate all your time and effort, and we hope to hear from you soon over the next days and weeks, as well as see you in person as soon as we are able. Thank you again for all your time and attendance, and again, I urge everyone to do a little something to help keep the SCA alive in your life so that you keep that joy going until we can do that in person. Herein closes the court of Baroness Anya Ruan Ingen Neal and Baron Adon Elwyn, Baroness and Baron of Caer.
Thank you so much. We miss all of you.